that first initial year, doing the business before the business, right? So I was still working within a practice, but I started just building my brand within the community, becoming known for my specialty, working in obesity medicine. I was the kind of person that I only did presentations when I absolutely had to. Speaking was not something I wanted to do. And definitely wouldn't go and ask people to work with me. So it was a huge just mindset shift and confidence booster to go out and speak in the community and serve people in that way, and go out and talk to potential referral sources, and really share my vision, and really serve. And it really didn't take long at all for me to become known as the expert in the community. And patients just started coming already before I even transitioned to my private practice. So I launched my private practice in April of this year, and I think one of the biggest kind of supports of like how important EBS was for me was launching this new practice, not knowing what my financial status was going to be. So many people told me, people that were not familiar with EBS were like, you can't really trust that a lot of people will follow you. You're probably going to have to build. It'll take 2 to 3 years for you to really establish yourself. And in that mindset, I was really wondering, can I continue to be a part of EBS? Is this a financial cost that I can continue? And really thinking it over and discussing it with my husband, it took about a 5-minute conversation for us to decide, like, it wasn't that I had to worry about not or that I had to worry about the cost of being in EBS still. It was that I needed to worry about the cost of not being in it. And my husband, we always joke in EBS that my husband calls it a built-in business expense. It's like a non-negotiable business expense. And really it's an investment rather than an expense, right? Because I couldn't imagine moving forward with this process without having the community that I've had to help me along. So April, I launched my practice full. My first day, I think I had 17 patients, and we were full right from the start. Within 6 weeks, I had to hire a nurse practitioner to help see patients, and to date, so this is April to now just November, she is full. We each see 18 to 22 patients a day. So with my practice, we usually have kind of longer appointments for coaching and motivational interviewing. So 18 to 22 patients a day is pretty busy for us. I actually hired a second nurse practitioner today. And then I have a doc that I've hired that's starting in March. So we've seen rapid growth, and I don't think I would have been able to keep up with, well, the growth I wouldn't have had without the support and the mindset and the marketing and building the brand locally. But also I wouldn't have been able to just within my own confidence in my thoughts maintaining this or supporting this scale without losing the quality if I didn't have the support that I have. So it's been exciting. We kind of knocked down walls and expanded into the suite next to us. And I never would have thought that within my first year, I'd be looking to be on track of, having over $1 million in revenue. And um, it's just been an incredible experience. I still went to Italy for 2 weeks in July. When I first decided to transition to the private practice, there was a significant thought that I had that I needed to cancel this trip that we had planned 2 years ago. And from coaching from the community, that it was we need to start our business in the way we want to continue to have our business and maintain our life and that work life balance. And I decided to, with the coaching that I received, of like, how can I still go to Italy? What do I need to create to still make this happen? Because the whole point of this was to build a life that I wanted. So I was able to go on this amazing vacation the first year, continue to grow and expand, and build a practice within less than a year that I never would have thought of that I would be able to accomplish in the 3 years that everyone else told me I would need to build my own panel.
So many amazing wins in that. Thank you so much for sharing, Dr. Golden. Can we give her some love in the comments? My goodness. Each time I was like, oh, I wanted to interject so many times because you said so many amazing things that I wanted to speak about. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of them. So first of all, I love that you have kind of never thought about doing your practice, or if you thought about it, it was somewhere down the line. But coming into EBS, you not only decided to start your practice, but you started what we call the business before the business, where if there's anyone on the line or that has not started a practice yet and you're thinking about starting a practice, that you join this call just so you know what to do when you start your practice. That's something we do in EBS, where we get you busy before you even get busy. Notice Dr. Golden said that she was, she started her practice full from day one, and within 6 weeks she had to hire. So what happens is that she was building her brand. She was out speaking, she was out getting into the community. And I want you to talk a little bit about that, because you said you got the mindset to do it, something that you would have never done. So how did that, or how did EBS fit into all of that for you?
Yeah, I think, Dr. Una in her coaching and encouraging, and there's a lot of just workshops and classes available on how to become a speaker, and really shifting that mindset of you're there to serve, right? And as long as you continue to focus on you're there to provide a service, to share what you know, and you can never go wrong, really, as long as you're there with that vision and mission to serve. And that really changed my whole approach um, to speaking,
Mhm.
because I think I would always get caught up in my head of, um, what if I say something wrong? What if it's not the right thing? And just a lot of compare-itis, and just doubting myself. And there's just a lot of encouragement and celebrating wins along the way that really reinforces your self image of that you're capable, and that you have a story to share. Like, nobody knows my story better than I do, and I have a story to share, and I have um, a mission that is important to me, and as long as I stay true to that, that is going to continue to serve me and serve others.
And thank you for sharing that, because entrepreneurship can be lonely, right? And it can be daunting at times. And, we're celebrating your wins, because these are incredible wins. I mean, you're on track for 7 figures in 1 year. Oh my goodness, you're on track for that. And, you're able to go to Italy for 2 weeks after just starting a brand new practice, and, just really incredible wins. Already have 2 hires already, and then another provider going to be hired in March. So really impactful wins. But we're not downplaying the fact that the day to day can be difficult. We're not downplaying the fact that it can be hard, to run a team and, get them to understand what you want, get them to share your vision, get them to see patients with the same quality that you see them. That's some of the things that Dr. Unas taught us in this workshop about finding the losses and attacking them, attacking them head on, creating initiatives in the office, looking at your numbers, which is very hard, and making those changes. So can you tell us a little bit about, I know definitely the community had a lot to do with it. Can you tell us a little bit about how, some of the other components of the school helped in that area in terms of, the workshops with Dr. Una, the success groups, the challenges? How does it all play in together to be able to help you to get these things done? Because yes, could you have done them on your own? Probably, but it's a little different when you have
Yeah.
support.
So when I first came on, I'd say I was really intimidated in some ways. I think as many of us are, and I think that was one of my hesitations at first to join EBS was just like, gosh, a meeting every week, and then there's all these challenges, and then there's a book, and then I don't know if I have this kind of time, and really talking to so many other people, and Dr. Una encouraging as well too that there are a lot of people that get significant wins, significant changes doing 20% of it, right? And making the time for it. And I embraced early on that if I couldn't show up for the Wednesday night lives, I would watch it, when it was available, when it was convenient for me, even if it was in 15-minute segments, just realizing that I didn't have to do it perfectly to get what I needed out of it, right? And the challenges were really helpful, where we would have challenges of like post 5 times a week, ask so many times a day, ask people to work with you, ask people to refer patients to you. And those are things that I wouldn't ever have really thought of making that big of a difference. But they do. They make the snowball effect occurs. And so we'll have challenges in accountability to share with each other that, yes, I asked so many times and I posted so many times. And then you see the effect of it, and you see how a post you did 6 weeks ago got you a patient today. And then it really inspires you of this concept of that it's always working. And then you celebrate these wins, and it just propels you forward. Um, then there's the success group, that is so amazing that I really block and reserve that time. So it's like a smaller accountability group that we break off into in a time that works for you. And we can ask questions and support each other if something's going on. But a lot of times it's just that protected time that we all sit on together and get our work done. That usually the frogs that we don't
Mhm.
want we're dreading doing that we need to get done, and then we can do it in community and support. um, and then we have a book of the month usually, and they're always incredible books with great professional and personal development opportunities. I've enjoyed every one of them. I make my husband read them as well too, and it's great to share that. But I always want to remind uh, everyone that's considering joining, or even newer people that are in EBS, because we can think that, oh, I've got to do all this. And there are books that I still am like halfway through, and I've moved on to the next one. And so as long as you're putting in whatever time and effort you have in this season of your life, you're going to get something out of it. And that, I think that's the biggest takeaway from that, is to not let this idea of it being such a big time commitment to stand in your way, because you're able to make it work for you, and you'll see significant results. Like um, I'm still struggling with developing my YouTube channel, right? But I keep chipping away at it, and my team members always encourage me that what I'm able to do right now is enough. So
That was so good. I mean, we've really learned so much from that, because it's a combination of you just keeping forward, that forward movement, and also getting all the support that you need, and also getting the strategy and the coaching that you need in order to do it. That is really good. One last thing, and you've been so gracious with your time. I want to thank you for that. One last thing, you mentioned earlier that your husband said that the EntreMD Business School is a fixed non-negotiable business expense. And I talk to a lot of physicians, and I just like to keep things real. I've had quite a few physicians, not a lot, but I've had some tell me, the price point they're just not ready for that price point. And you even talked about at some point you're asking yourself, should I continue? I've already done a year. The year was great because you're actually in year 2. So what would you say to anyone that's considering the school, but they're hung up on, I'm just not sure that I can pay that I can make that investment. I'm sure the school is great, but I just don't see myself making that investment at this time. What would you say?
I think it's so important to look at it as an investment in yourself. And that was a concept I wasn't used to, which sounds silly because, I mean, how much did we invest into going to medical school, right? I mean, the amount of time and money that it took to get the training that we currently have. But this is one of the first things the first time that I really feel like I invested in myself personally and professionally, and I've increased my own personal net worth, right? And I think it's really something to really look at it as an investment in yourself, commit to the fact that you're going to get returns out of it, and you will. I mean, it's going to change you personally, professionally. It's going to change whatever practice you're in. It's going to change the way you approach your career for the rest of your career. So I just would encourage people to try to get past that doubt, because it truly is an investment that you're going to get returns on.
And I love the fact that you brought it back to you, after you leave the EntreMD Business School, which you may never leave. Some people say they're going to be there for life. You're in there for life, right? There's a few EBSers for life, but after you leave, you're taking all of that with you. I mean, you're the one building the brand. You're the one that is now the subject matter expert. You're the one that CNN is calling. You're the one that's doing all these talks in the community. So whatever you gain from it is yours to keep. And not only that, I mean, you're living your dream life and your dream business all at once.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the proof is in the pudding, right? And we have, if you check on the YouTube channel, we have so many of these stories, just like yours, Dr. Golden, of people in the school that are doing exactly what you are, living their dream life with their dream business. Thank you so much for your time. This has been phenomenal.
Well,
Let's give her some love in the comments. And if anyone has any questions for her, Dr. Golden, can you tell us how to find you? Or if we have any questions, or if anybody has any patients to refer to you, tell us where to find you.
Yeah, so weightandgoldwellness.com, and then Weight and Gold Wellness on Facebook and Instagram.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So if you decide you wanted to reach out to Dr. Golden, you absolutely could. Sometimes I hear people say, well, I want to talk to a student. I really want to talk to a student. You absolutely could. She's given you her a way of contacting her. Thank you so much for this time. This is your story is really phenomenal, and we are so grateful that you took the time to share it.